Hello, Flosstube. Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches here with my. Sorry about that. Weird. I'm still getting used to using my laptop for updates. My update number 400. Today is the 23rd of August, and actually, the new WIPGO numbers just came out. I just noticed a minute ago. Jess Marie posted them a little bit early, so I have the new numbers coming up, which is both. It's good to know in advance, but it's tough because I just feel like it puts a lot of pressure on me. Sorry. So we had a pretty wild day the other day here. It rained like crazy, and there were just a lot of noise, banging, and all stuff. It sounded very dangerous and everything outside. And matter of fact, our trash can was still outside because I don't know, we hadn't put it up yet. And all of a sudden it was raining really hard. The wind was, the rain was hitting my window. My bedroom window was coming in kind of sideways, and there was just all kinds of noise outside. And as it turns out, the houses behind the trees behind our house, our backyard faces onto Chandler Boulevard, and there's along the edges there's Palo Verde trees and various other kinds of trees. And Palo Verde trees break very easily, and so like at 11 o'clock, the wood chipper guys are out there, the city guys are out there, cutting up trees and stuff, because apparently a lot of them had fallen in the roadway. It was just a big mess. We didn't have much, damage around our house, much less than I assumed. Somebody's screen, I don't know whose it was, because it wasn't one of ours, and it wasn't, if it was our next door neighbor, it wasn't visible. So I don't know whose screen it was, like apparently hit our house. And I saw it out there, and I went and looked at it and was like, no, it doesn't go in this window and doesn't go in that window. So I don't know where it came from, but and our trash can was like down the street, and my sister went out there and brought it in, and it was still pouring rain out there, but she didn't want it, blowing all over the street. But yeah, so it was kind of a big mess. But fortunately, we didn't do a Dorothy Wizard of Oz thing, but it sounded like it was going to. Anyway, but it all worked out. It didn't really cool the temperatures off. It's still very, very hot, and it's a little bit muggy. It's not as muggy today as it was yesterday, but but yeah, the storm was Thursday night, so Friday it was very muggy, and the mugginess has eased up a little bit. The heat has not, but the mugginess has kind of eased a little bit. Anyway, so today is, like I said, the 23rd, so we have a couple things to discuss. I worked on my Viscornia. I had, the first 2 weeks of August, I worked almost exclusively on the Starry Night Viscornia, my August cross-stitch camp piece here by Cosford Rye Stitchery. Stitch Something New to You is the August challenge for cross-stitch camp, and this is a new designer for me. And I've been working on this Viscornia, and I think last week I talked about how I finished the top half except for the stitching around the edges of the design. And then I had started work on the back side. So this is the back side of the Viscornia. So there's these gold star things in each of the corners, and then there's a bunch of these little motifs in the middle. And I worked this past week, I did these shooting stars and the Big Dipper here. There's one on each side. This is the middle of the piece. And so I've been working on these little designs, little individual stitches, little swirls, things like that. There's still several to go here, and of course, each corner there's a star like this in each corner, as well as there's another color that goes with it. I haven't used the other color. It's like a yellow, lighter yellow, that goes in and around some of the designs, and in these little stars. But anyway, so I still have quite a ways to go, and I'm hoping I can finish it. The goal is to finish it by the end of the month. I'm hoping I could do that. But I also recognize that I just had 2 weeks left, and my goal for my whips is to do 7 days on each one. So I'm trying to squeeze that in. So I'm working on both my whips for my WIPGO board and my cross-stitch camp piece. And at some point, I'm going to squeeze my 2 new starts in there. Fortunately, they don't have a specific goal, so if I just stitch a few stitches in each one, it's considered starting. So those I have not started yet. I had started to choose a fabric, and then I changed my mind about them because I did a floss toss, and one of them I had chosen was too white because there's white stitching in it. So I think maybe, hopefully, I've come across a better solution. Anyway, that remains to be seen. I'm not worrying about that right now. Except that, well, I'll talk about that a little bit in haul. So I did stitch a little bit on my whips, one of which is this Silver Creek Samplers Lost and Found. This is by Diane Grick for Silver Creek Samplers. And the text on this, I am a lost sheep gone astray. Shepherd, find me, this I pray. O shepherd, listen to my prayer and keep me in the loving care. This is from, I thought I had the year on here, but I don't. No, 2020. Yeah. At least that's what she stitched down here in the design. So when I started this, I had done the red color on this border all around. And there's like 2 other colors in there. But so I had done the red across here, and I had done the words down to about the FI in find. And then I had done the tree, and I started over here on some of the leaves. And I had done the sheep's face and back, and this darker colored underside. I had not done the legs, the feet, or any of this grass underneath here. So that was where I started from for this month. Oh, and the dove. It's hard to see in that picture, but there's a dove in the corner with a heart here. So I did it on this pink fabric that I dyed myself. It's a 28 count Lugana. So yeah, there's the dove, and I had stitched all these words last time. So this time I added, I think I've done like two good days and about a few hours on a 3rd day. So, but I did do more of these leaves here. I had done a few of them like up to about here. So I did these leaves here, and I did like one other line on his back here, this lighter color. And then and down this way, and then I just started doing more of this dark color on there, because it's easier to, if I can just put them in there, then I can just fill it in with this lighter color. So I think this is the underside all the way to the edge of where his legs go down, and then it's all these little. There's some more swirls here, and then it's all, the rest of it is this lighter color, I think. Yeah, so I'm working on the swirls now, I think, and then I'll eventually put the rest of the leaves and stuff in. And I did a little bit more on the border here. I added some green in a few of these squares. I didn't do all of them, but I did some of them. Just, you know, as I had occasion. And then I added a little more of the lettering here. I finished the word find, me, this, I, and I just started the word pray down here when I, you know, got to the end of that thread. So that's coming along. I've done, like I said, 3 days, so I have about 4 more days to do on that. And so I'm trying to do a little bit of the whips along with that Starry Night scoring you so that I can squeeze those. This is a total of 14 days, right? 7 on each of the whips. So my other whip is the Beaver by Cottage Garden Samplings. And on this one, I had done, last time I worked on it, I had done this dark brown of a tree and this cabin. And I did one shade of the leaves and stuff on this tree. And I had not done, I think I had not done any of this stuff in the bottom or these leaves over here. And on the Beaver, I had done some of the brown up to about right here. And then, and I had done part of the face here and some of this brown here. So, I worked on it, I think, I want to say 2 days. If you count today, I think it's 2 days. Or 3, I don't know. But so I finished the face. I don't know if you can see that. I finished the face, and I finished this. It's really ecru here, and these. It's kind of a. Yeah. There's some ecru down here between these brown things, and then this sort of pinky, melony color on the Beaver's like rump. And right now I'm filling in some of the brown and the parts that I have not done, like around here, around these little individual stitches, and most of this part of the rump that's not going to be brown is a fancy floss color, kind of an orange. I think it's pecan is the color, yeah, pecan. And then down here in the tail, and what's missing on the feet is charcoal. So there's 2 fancy floss colors. They're Weeks Dye Works, charcoal and pecan, and the rest is DMC. So I'm working now on the dark brown. This is a DMC color, and so this orange, this darker orange is pecan, and the darker gray, black, whatever here is charcoal. Will be on his tail. I don't know if I'll get to the tail this time around, but I will, I think, hopefully finish at least the rump here, and there's some more brown and orange and stuff here. And if I can get that done, you know, everything except maybe the beaver's tail or whatever, that would be an accomplishment. We'll see how that goes. See, I did part of one of this beaver's claws here because I just happened to have thread handy. So yeah, so that's coming along. That is the Beaver by Cottage Garden Sampling. So today, I had talked about before how I had looked for this variegated thread at Michael's because I thought they would have it there because they have not only the basic DMC colors, but they have a few of the other, you know, things, color variations, étoile, things like that. So I thought I would look there, and because there were a few DMC colors that I didn't have. One was a variegated garnet, number 115, and the other 2 were color variations, like they're 4,000 something each, the two colors. Well, they didn't have the 4,000, whatever we'll call it. I think one of them is 4124 and the other is like 40, I don't know, 4075, something like that. Didn't have them. And they didn't have the garnet either, the 115, except in a box of, like, you know, the variegated threads, but you had to buy the whole box, and it was like $40. Yeah, for all I needed out of all of those colors was the one skein, so I didn't buy that. And so today, I happened to go to Hobby Lobby with my sister. She was buying some things and looking for some things. And I went, of course, in a very dangerous capacity with nothing specific to buy. And lo and behold, they had the variegated garnet number 115. They had it there all along, and I don't know why I had not seen it earlier, but they had it. So it's like it's red going to sort of a very dark red. Yeah. So yay! No, and it's for one of my new starts for this month, and I don't think that I necessarily need it right away, but it's nice to know I have it now. And I also picked up a couple more. I think last time I talked about I had found some threads, and I found some more. These are at Hobby Lobby. This one has gnomes. Very cute. And this one has chickens. My sister made an emotional support chicken. She talked about that on our Sticks and Strings video, and she finished it this past week. So yeah. So that's why I saw the chicken fabric. They actually had two chicken fabrics. They had this one, and they had another one that had smaller, like sort of like pen and ink kind of drawings. But I like this one more. It's a little bit more colorful. But anyway, so that is my accomplishments for this week. So, but coming up in September, the WIPGO numbers are number 14 and number 18. And I don't have the project right here with me because I just now looked at the numbers. But 14, the WIP is 7 Pines, and I think that one I have almost finished. So I don't think I'll have any trouble finishing it. And then the new start for number 14 is another one of my Merry Menagerie projects, and that's the Axolotle. This is a Merry Menagerie is they're by the Blue Flower. I think released them at the Jingle Ball this past Christmas. And so the Killdeer are my new starts for this month, which I have not started yet. And the Axolotle is one of the new starts for next month. So 7 Pines is the WIP, and the Merry Menagerie Axolotle is the new start for number 14. Number 18 is the other one, and it's Deep Waters, and I think that's Silver Creek Samplings design. I'm not sure. I don't have it written down here. But I think maybe if I can't finish it, I'll be able to make some good progress on it. And the other one is Holiday Stroll, and I kind of think that is either Teresa Kogut or Twin Peak Primitives pattern. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think I know what it looks like. I think it's like Santa and a reindeer, I think. But we'll see. It'll be a surprise next week. Next week will be the 29th. Today's the 20. What's today? Today's the 23rd. Let me look at my calendar. Yeah, today's the 23rd. So next week will be the 30th. Yeah. If I could do math, that'd be dangerous. Next Saturday is the 30th. So I should have the September projects ready to go. And I'll be working furiously at finishing the August project. But So that's what I have coming up. And I'm, like I said, September's coming. I feel like it's breathing down my neck. But since cross stitch camp will be over, I have some other projects coming up that I wanted to try. And I have a couple of crochet projects, and I have at least one punch needle project, maybe two, that I thought I would wait until September or afterward to try them, because I have like the pressure of cross stitch camp this month, along with my WIPGO stuff. So hopefully in the fall, September, October, or whatever, I'll have more time to try those new crafts of crochet, which I've only done briefly years and years and years ago. And it's not something that I was comfortable with. I think I had too much tension in my hands, and you know, so we'll see if that could remedy that. I bought a couple of those little crochet kits, like Woobles, but not Woobles, you know, one at Hobby Lobby and one at Michael's, I think. So, you know, just for fun, just because, just to try it. And then I also bought a punch needle kit. I showed it here last week before last. And I think I have one. I have another kit or two, you know, that I had put off trying to start or whatever. But so that's another skill I've been thinking of learning how to do, whatever. So anyway, I think that's everything I have to talk about this week. Yeah, so I will see you next time. And until then, thanks for watching. Bye.